What are you doing here? Cookies? Is that normal? I'm not sure how to react. Nobody's ever brought me anything before. The last time anyone knocked on my door, they had pitchforks. Uh, Never mind that. Come in. To tell you the truth, I half expected you to flee the town after our last encounter. Or even the one before. I must have sounded like a mental patient. But somehow, why do you keep coming back? I can't possibly be that entertaining to you. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, and I doubt I'll be satisfying enough to revive you again. You really should be more careful, stranger. For all you know, everything I told you could be a lie. A story I fabricated to lure in those curious enough to want to hear more. Or I might be telling the truth, whatever that means to you. Though that doesn't mean I can't still be dangerous. Maybe I think that I'm being honest, having convinced myself of a delusion, a drunken madwoman lost in a world of fantasy. Either way, somebody as attractive as yourself shouldn't be visiting the homes of people they don't know, especially not alone. You really are strange. I must admit, that is something I enjoy about you. It's refreshing, but I worry nonetheless. Oh, here, have a seat. Sorry, you might be the first real visitor I've ever gotten, though it feels a bit odd to admit that. But, as I said before, most people tend to avoid me. You're the first in many ways. Or, at least, the first in a very, very long time. You came to hear more, didn't you? Itching to know the secrets of a soul like mine. There's not that much to it, to be honest. I can barely remember all that happened in my time, and it all begins to fade into one after a while. Only a few memories are still clear and distinct. It must have been the very early days, right after I fell. I didn't know of my immortality then. I I met someone, much like you in many ways, a bright and curious soul, eager to welcome me into their life. We spent much time together, and I watched them grow old. It took me much too long to realize that my body was left untouched by the currents of time, and life was much shorter compared to now. I miss it. The feeling of meaning something, having power, not being alone, having somebody by my side who understands, anyone I could talk to, being able to create things, to help others, to see the smiles upon their faces as my blessings improve their life, not having to worry about the mortality of those around me. For far too long I have wandered soulless in the darkness. It's a lonely endeavour, one I would never wish upon anyone else. The only other person who might still remember me is my brother, and I haven't seen him in an eternity. Who's to say he hasn't forgotten about me yet? Maybe he's long moved on, invented himself anew, and left all else behind. Who am I to expect him not to? There's nothing more I can do, except wish it were different. Remembering who I was won't bring me back either. Maybe it's time for me to finally accept it, to recognize what I've become, how the world has changed around me. The people I once loved are long dead and buried, turned to dust within my hands, as did everything me and my brother have built together. We are nothing but a distant memory lingering within my brain, a final claw holding on to consciousness, desperate not to fade away. Or maybe we don't need to be the same. Maybe we can reconnect, be different, together. But I can't say that would fix anything, if that would make a difference at all. Even for a former god, turning back time is an impossible thing to do, a distant dream, a frivolous fantasy. This loneliness is tearing me apart. This feeling, like a hole within my chest, gnawing at me from the inside. One day, I might be brave enough to try again, to pray one final time. And then either I must learn to let it go, or I get what I've been yearning for. It's been far too long that I've lived in between, not able to move on, nor embrace it. But I still feel I haven't lived out my punishment. Would would I be allowed to try again, even if I'm not ready? Part of me is tempted to do it right now. One final time. What do you think, stranger? Should I leave it be, or one last time? Would you mind staying by my side as I try again? Just so I won't have to be alone when I fail. Thank you. Cher, if you're there, please, please let me speak to you. I don't know what else I expected. Oh, what just... Cher?
And so we meet again, sister. What a surprise to see you alive after all these years.
What? You... This whole time? Why did you never reach out to me?
Quite frankly, I assumed you had died after you last attempted to contact me, and back then, I simply could not face you after what you had done.
What I had done? You were the one who left.
Do not act as though it was my own choice. I gave you the opportunity to come with me, yet you declined. You wanted to stay because you loved those feeble humans more than you could ever love me. Even now, you have another mortal clinging to your sleeve.
Of course I loved them. They were our responsibility, ours to shepherd. But you abandoned our people, abandoned me. You left us behind to die.
Your endeavor was senseless. There was nothing we could have done to save them. I acted in an attempt to protect us, so that we could persevere, start anew and form a different group of followers. How should I have known that we would not perish? You act as though we had nothing to lose, as though I was being selfish, when in reality all I did was in an effort of staying alive. And it is not my fault you rather would have died by their side than rebuild what we had.
How could you say that? These people loved us, and we let them down. We had no right to leave them behind. I don't think you understand how they must have felt. The fear, the pain, the hopelessness. They weren't just followers, things that worshipped us. They were entire beings with complex thoughts, hopes, and emotions. They were like us, scared, forsaken.
There was no helping them. We were beings worth considering too, were we not? You were willing to let your life end with theirs, despite it bringing no benefit upon anyone. A fool, nothing less. That is what you were, and what you still are.
When did you become so heartless? I didn't feel right to keep going without them, to act like they never happened and find a new group of devotees. I couldn't pick up another face like it's nothing, make up a whole new identity.
You are so stuck in your ways, too attached to what you had to see what could have been. You act as though I was deceiving anyone, as though I was lying to humans to regain their favor, when in reality, all I did was present myself and my abilities to new mortal souls. They chose to worship me, to give me a new name, and I accepted it. I had no other choice to secure my own survival. You may not have cared for your life, for us, but I did.
Of course I cared. I loved you more than anything. But our only purpose was to protect those who believed in us, and we failed. I couldn't live with that failure etched into my soul. It felt wrong to leave them behind. The Cher I knew would have died with me, with them. I don't understand what happened to you after we started growing apart.
You know nothing about me. You didn't then, and you still don't. I saw more use in staying alive, helping new people. Humans die all the time, and yet we still kept blessing their offspring happily. What difference does it make if they aren't of the same blood? Our purpose was to protect our devotees, whomever they may be, and whatever name they may call us. So was it truly that wrong to do what I did? Perhaps you were the selfish one, unwilling to bless anyone but those you knew. And now look at you. What good did it bring upon you? Stuck in a mortal shell for millennia, unable to do anything but pray for my forgiveness. While I still had the tools to bless my believers, I grew stronger, while you simply wasted away.
Cher, what happened to you? In all this time of living, the only thing that you have grown is distant. I haven't felt your presence ever since you left. Your love, your blessings. Not once have I felt your touch upon the earth.
Do not call me by that name. It is dead, as are you. Or at the very least, you should be.
Cher, please. Were we not two halves at the beginning of all? We are one. We should not be torn apart like this. Why have you forsaken me, brother?
That was a long, long time ago. Things change. They evolve. That is nature. I refuse to turn back. You made your choice then, as did I. I have had enough of this. Enough of you. Not even my own sister is allowed to come into my home, spit upon the very thing I have fought to build and uphold after she abandoned me.
You stabbed me?
I cannot take it anymore. The fading image of my sister twisted within your very features. Nothing but a ghost, clinging to a world she should have left thousands of years ago. You are but a shadow of your former self, bathed in hatred and obstinance. Through this holy blade, may you find the peace and comfort you seek. Maruk.
Why? I'm sorry.
Do not act as though you know anything human. You know nothing. Not about me, neither about her. Do not judge us on what you have seen today. It was necessary, even if I wish it had not been. I wonder if there will be an afterlife for God, a place where she may experience her happiest moments once more. Even if there is not, relieving her was for the better. You too must have noticed the exhaustion within her eyes. No being is meant to live among humans for as long as she has. You may not understand what I did, or why, but I do not need to justify my actions to a mortal soul. Hate me, if you will. It makes no difference. I hope you understand that I'm not leaving you alive as torture. No other soul may remember her as she was, the person she had become. I cannot let that memory fade away just yet. Ending your life would be blasphemous. Perhaps you will forget what happened in only a few years. Or you will wake up believing it to have been nothing but a dream. Still, knowing that her memory perseveres, even if only for a moment, gives me a sense of peace. Though I did what I had to, that does not mean I'm happy about it. I've never been a bloodthirsty god, nor a vengeful one. But now, it is time to go home, mortal. May the world be kind to you.